Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all well. We are discussing about the chapter 1 matter in our surrounding. In this video we will discuss about the topic that is can matter change its state. Look at this picture here. We can see gas, liquid and solid state of matter. In solid state, the particles are most closely packed and the intermolecular forces of attraction between the particles is maximum and the space between the particles is very less. And in liquid state, the particles are less closely packed than the solid and intermolecular forces of attraction between the particles is also less than the solids and the space between the particle is large than the solid state. And in gaseous state, the particles are least closely packed and they have negligible intermolecular forces of attraction and the space between the particle is large. So they can move freely and they have maximum kinetic energy. But the particles of liquid have less kinetic energy than the gaseous state, and solid state particles have very less or negligible kinetic energy because their particle vibrate about their fixed position. So when we apply a pressure in a gaseous state, then particles of gaseous state comes closer to each other and it will convert into the liquid. Further we increase the pressure in liquid state, then the particles comes more closer to each other and liquid will convert into the solid. So by applying the pressure we can change the state of matter. In another state, when we supply heat or by increasing the temperature of solid, it will start melting and convert into the liquid. This process is called melting or fusion. If we further increase the temperature, then liquid will convert into the vapor, and you can say that liquid will change into the gaseous state, and this process is called boiling and vaporization. In similar case, when we decrease the temperature, the gaseous state will convert into the liquid state, and this process is called condensation. And liquid will convert into the solid state when we further decrease the temperature. This process is called freezing, and we can say that by increasing or decreasing the temperature we can change the state of matter. Look at this picture here. We have beaker with ice and glass rod and thermometer, and here is a burner to provide the heat. When we start heating ice, the temperature goes on increasing until the ice begins to melt and get converted into the liquid water. But once the ice starts melting, the temperature of the system does not change until all the ice melts. On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy increases, and the increased energy helps the particles to overcome the intermolecular forces of attraction between the particles of the solid, so that particles leave their position and start moving more freely. Finally, a stage is reached when the solid melts and get converted into a liquid. So the temperature at which solid melts to become a liquid at normal atmospheric pressure is called its melting point. The melting point of ice is 273 Kelvin or 0 degree Celsius. If the higher the melting point of a solid, stronger are the forces of attraction between the particles of the solid. And the process in which solids start melting is called fusion. Or you can say that the process of melting, that is conversion of solid into liquid state, is called fusion. During the process of melting of ice, the temperature of the system does not change after the melting point is reached until all ice melts. Although we continue heating the beaker, this heat is used up in overcoming the forces of attraction between the particles of the solid. Since this heat is absorbed by the ice, it is assumed to be hidden into the content of the beaker and is therefore known as a latent heat of fusion. Latent means hidden. So we can define the latent heat of fusion as the amount of heat energy which is needed to convert 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point. Now, all ice is converted into the liquid water. When we heat liquid or water, water starts changing into vapors. On further heating, a temperature is attained when it does not rise but water is converted into vapors continuously and liquid start boiling. So the temperature at which a liquid start boiling at atmospheric pressure is called its boiling point. And boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius and 373 Kelvin. And the process in which liquid state changes into vapor state, this is called vaporization. So, what is latent heat of vaporization? The amount of heat energy which is needed to convert 1 liter of liquid into its vapors at its boiling point is called latent heat of vaporization. In some cases, solids directly converted into the gaseous state, and this process is called sublimation. And you can define the sublimation as the process of direct conversion of a solid into a gas. Example is naphthalene and camphor. Look at this picture here. We have a cylinder with a piston fitted in it, and in this cylinder we have a gas. It is possible to bring out change in the state of matter by increasing or decreasing the pressure. This can be explained by taking a definite amount of a gas in a cylinder fitted with a piston. With the help of this piston, we can increase or decrease the pressure. If we apply some pressure and compress the gas, the particles of gas come closer and ultimately the gas will liquefy and it will convert into the liquid state. Furthermore, we increase the pressure, then the particles of the liquid comes more closer to each other and liquid will convert into the solid state. So by applying the pressure, particles of matter can be brought closer together. Thus, we can say that pressure and temperature determine the state of a substance, whether it will be solid, liquid, or a gas. So, what is Kelvin? Kelvin is a SI unit of the temperature, and 0 degree Celsius is equal to 273.16 Kelvin, which is approximately equal to 273 Kelvin. If we want to change a temperature on Kelvin scale to the Celsius scale, then we have to subtract 273 from the given temperature. On other hand, if we want to convert temperature on a Celsius scale to the Kelvin scale, we have to add 273 into the given temperature. Suppose we have to convert 300 Kelvin into the Celsius temperature, then we subtract 273 from this temperature and it will convert into the 27 degree Celsius. And if we want to convert this 300 degree Celsius to Kelvin, then we add 273 in the given temperature and it will convert into the 573 Kelvin.